When you are hard on yourself, you will attract people who are hard on you. When you are critical of yourself, you will attract people who are critical of you. When you judge yourself, you will attract people who judge you. And this isn't just some kind of a metaphor, it's a cause and effect. Because the way you treat yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. Your energy, your internal dialogue, your relationship with yourself, it all flows outwards and it shapes the people, opportunities, and the world around you. And that's why when you are being hard on yourself, you often end up being the strong one, the one that everybody looks up to, the one who that everybody depends on to hold it all together, even when you are the one collapsing, when you are the one who needs the support. I mean, just take a moment to think about your life. How often do you push yourself to exhaustion, guilt, overwhelm, just to make others comfortable? How often do you ignore that your inner voice, your own needs, believing that strength means never being weak or showing vulnerability? And it's also why others feel entitled to give you unsolicited advice or criticize you, even when they have no idea what you're going through. Because the way you speak to yourself gives others permission to do the same. And it's not the verbal permission that you give others, it's energetic. And your energy speaks way louder than words. And also, that's why you struggle to put yourself first. You feel guilty. You feel like you haven't done enough. You haven't earned it, that you're not enough. You worry that prioritizing yourself will make you appear selfish, that others will judge you. So you put others first and you put yourself last. And you may think that attacking yourself like this keeps you motivated, that it drives results, that it makes you stronger, more independent, but it doesn't. What it actually does is it conditions your mind, your body, your relationships to operate from tension, from guilt, and self doubt. Every time you criticize yourself, you judge yourself, you're being hard on yourself, you're training your nervous system to expect that pressure. And your minds will call it drive, but in reality, it's stress disguised as ambition, it's guilt disguised as responsibility. And that's what destroys your peace, your clarity, your ability to connect authentically with other people. And whenever you push yourself like that, whenever you judge yourself, whenever you try to prove your worth through achievements, you are strengthening that very pattern that's making you feel unsupported, overlooked, and appreciated. So, if this is resonating, what can we do about it? There are always two choices. One, you can keep reinforcing the same identity, the same patterns, the same hustle, wondering why people fail to show up for you or to see your value and worth. Or the other is to break that loop. You can start treating yourself with more respect, with more compassion, with more honesty that you deserve. And when you do that, you will see how it will start being reflected back to you. You will start attracting opportunities, people where you are truly feel seen and valued, opportunities that align with your energy, with your values, with your desires, with your goals, a life where your achievements feel satisfying because they align with who you are, not with who you think you have to be. And this is not about being, not being ambitious. It's about building foundation where high performance does not cost you your soul. So if that's what you want, the first step is to decide that you've had enough. Decide that you will no longer attack yourself. You no longer will let that voice to define your identity or your life. And here's how you can do it in real time. I always like to give practical examples. Whenever that self critical thought comes up, use this three-step process: label, interrupt, reassert. Step number one: label. The moment you notice that judgmental thoughts, don't analyze it, don't argue with it. Instead, say to yourself in your head or out loud, this is self attack. That's it. This is self attack. Research has shown that whenever we label our thoughts like that, a process called cognitive diffusion, it creates a mental distance between you and the thought. So your brain no longer treats it as immediate threat, and this actually helps you to reduce the stress and emotional intensity and also automatic reactivity. Essentially, what you are doing is you are regaining authority over that internal dialogue. So once you label it, the step number two is to interrupt it. Interrupt it immediately. Don't give it more energy. And the way you interrupt it is saying stop. Stop, whether out loud or in your head. And it's not about being aggressive with yourself, it's about setting the boundaries. And again, neuroscience has shown that breaking that automatic loops like this prevents nervous system from reinforcing patterns of stress and self-criticism. And it creates space for conscious choices rather than this automatic reaction. And step number three is to reassert. Now you replace the attack thought with something that is more true and more grounded and more compassionate, not positive thinking or motivational, but something that's true. And you can do it simply by asking yourself, if I was speaking to somebody I respect or I love, what would I say to them in this case? And then repeat that to yourself. So, for example, instead of saying, I'm rubbish at this, reframe it. I made a mistake, but that doesn't define me. I can fix it or I can learn from it. Instead of, I should have known better or I should have done it better, reframe it by saying, I did the best I could with the time and resources I have. And next time I will do it differently. Instead of saying, I am the only one who can do this and I can't rely on anyone else, say to yourself, I can ask for help, I can delegate or I can adjust. I don't have to carry it all alone. And instead of, why am I always the one who doing this thing? Reframe. I notice the pattern. I can set boundaries. I can change how I respond. I can ask for help without guilt. And the last one, instead of I cannot handle this, reframe. I can handle it step by step. I have overcome challenges before. I am capable and I can do it again. Do you see the difference? And this is how you start retraining your identity step by step, not through criticism or judgment, but through compassion, through honesty, through self respect. When you interrupt these patterns of self attack, you stop conditioning your mind, your body, and relationship to operate from tension, from guilt, from self doubt, from lack. You start creating this internal environment that naturally attracts respect, attracts clarity, and alignment in the world around you. This is very simple, but it's extremely powerful process. And of course, you want to repeat that. If you do try this, let me know in the comments what shift you notice, maybe in a relationship with yourself or in a relationship with others. But remember, these are deep, wired patterns that you have carried with you for most of your life. And any change takes patience, it takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither can your nervous system and your mind be rewired overnight. Stick with this process step by step and you will see the reflection of self respect in everything you do and in everyone you attract. I will see you in the next video.